Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the FHeroes edition, and today we are on to Archibald Campaign Scenario 10. We are going to be doing something a little bit different here. Because of technical difficulties, I'm having to re-record this video. This is the first scenario in a long time that I've had to replay twice, and unfortunately I can't pretend like I haven't learned some tips and tricks to the scenario that we will be completing today. I did notice though, as I was playing through what I did have, just with no audio, which was very unfortunate, that this scenario affords me a unique opportunity where, because there's some really pretty boring parts where it's strictly logistical on the adventure map and there's not a whole lot of nuance, I can, for the first time, try and shorten my videos down. I'm going to be shooting for a 30-minute video that I'm going to clean up and try and really compact in the post-editing and the post-production here. So if you like this shorter form, please let me know. If you prefer the long play format where I show all the nitty-gritty details, every little thing, please let me know. But give this one a shot. Give me your feedback. Tell me what is good. Tell me what's not good. I'm not trying to be the next big YouTuber, but if people are interested, I say to myself, I might as well do my best to make something worth watching. I might as well put a little bit of quality into my work anyway. You know, be proud of what you do. That kind of general thing. So anything that you have for me as far as feedback to improve what I'm doing here, I would love to hear from it in the comments. I'd love to hear it in a personal message, wherever, whatever. That'd be wonderful. For now, let's dive right into the intro for Scenario 10.
Your swift elimination of those country lords almost makes it look easy. Perhaps next time you should slow down a little just to give them a sporting chance. The time to prepare for the final attack against Roland has come. My advisors are of two minds. One is that we should focus our efforts on gathering the armies necessary to defeat Roland, while the other is to search for the ultimate artifact. Since you are the man in the field, what is your decision?
Well, first off, I don't like that you said, oh, we should give them a sporting chance and then laughed maniacally. I think that on the scale of 1 to 10, that's about a 6 on the evil factor. And then we are going to be choosing to do Scenario 10, Greater Glory. Gather as large an army as possible, and capture the enemy castle within 8 weeks. You are opposed by only one enemy, but must travel a long way to get to the enemy castle. Any troops you have in your army at the end of this scenario will be with you in the final battle. So we have our choices between the Black Pearl, which is a artifact that will give us a +2 to spell power and +2 to knowledge, the Dragon Sword, which is a +3 to attack skill, and the Divine Breastplate of Protection, which is a +3 to our defense skill. Let's go to our handy dandy dice roll. By the way, link is in the description for this dice roll. It will take our roll here. We roll a 2. That gives us the option to do the Black Pearl, and that is what we are going to choose here. So let's put this on Black Pearl. Let's go to difficulty on hard. Let's remember that we have our Ogre Alliance, so ogres will join us. We have the Dwarf Bane, so dwarves will always run from us. And we do have the Dragon Alliance. Folks, we have a great opportunity to pick up a whole stack of dragons. I'm excited. Let's dive right in and see how this goes. You have just 8 weeks to build your army and conquer a town on the other side of a distant river. There are 3 paths to take. Which will you choose? We have our town here in the bottom left. It looks like we are getting 1,100 gold income per day and no other resources at this time. That's from the statue, 250 gold there. That's going to be 500 gold from the dungeon. The base town has 250 gold that it will generate as well. And then Corlagon, we are happy to see him back here. He has basic estates. That's going to be a +100 gold as well. First off, it looks like Corlagon, as a level 5 knight, has some excellent secondary skills. I'm happy to see the logistics, the pathfinding, and the wisdom. I think you can't go wrong with those. Interesting that he does have the necromancy, so perhaps we could build up a huge stack of skeletons if we fight every fight possible. That may be something we do, may not be, I'm not too sure yet. And then we have advanced leadership, which is great because we have some undead in the group, and we also have 3 different unit types. With the advanced leadership, however, we balance that out from a negative morale into a normal morale. We shouldn't have any problems for the orcs, the griffins, or the gargoyles. Starting off with the Nomad Boots of Mobility, I'm also happy to see that. And let's dive right in. I do believe that we're going to want to make sure that we pick up these mines. Offhand, I'm not sure if, when we play through this, if the best way of doing this is to simply take out all the creatures that you come across and try to have like a diplomacy game where you accept them into your army, or if you're better off trying to build up any towns that you may come across. This sign real quick, we need to pick this up. This way to the Necromancer Forest. It looks like this goes off here and to the right. And what's over that way, we can't really tell just yet, but we do have this observation tower over here that we better pick up. Do note that we cannot upgrade this town. It is a town, it may not be a castle, but all the same, this crystal mine, the ore mine, the alchemist lab, they may yet prove useful. And so since it's right here, right in my way, we might as well pick up these resource generating objects on the map. Observation tower lets us see immediately that we have a town here, which looks like it is a necromancer town. We have a barbarian town, not too far away. And then we have the rest of the mines that we need to make sure that for our kingdom income, we are generating one of each precious and non-precious resource. Right now we do have the mercury, the ore, and the crystal. We need sulfur, gems, wood. Sulfur, gems, wood. Perfect. One nice thing that you're noticing is that whenever we hit end turn, we are not waiting for some enemy to move as well. It is just us, and it's kind of like a little bit of an RPG map in that way. You find an old signpost in the midst of a thicket that reads Warlock Wood, west, Barbarian Fields, east. And so there's not a sign here like there was a sign here. This is just something that as we step over this square, that text box will pop up. And that gives us the choice then, in my mind, do we try and go this necromancer route, this barbarian route, or this warlock route in order to really flesh out our troops? Personally, if we're going to be fighting the final scenario next turn, I'm thinking to myself that warlocks have some of the best units available in the game. Barbarians are really good early on, but if it's going to be a big map that we have to fight Roland on, barbarians probably are not going to be as effective, even in large stack sizes. So we're probably going to avoid the barbarian path. Then between the warlocks and the necromancers, I'm thinking to myself, if I can get a whole fistful of dragons with my dragon alliance, if I can get a whole ton of dragons to carry over to the next scenario from maybe some potential towns that I can upgrade that are of the warlock variety, that might be where I am best suited. So with that in mind, dragons are pretty costly. If I see sulfur on the ground, I will make sure I go and pick that up, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. And that ultimately looks like it's a good choice. There is the necromancer town here, barbarian town here, and so very quickly into our warlock path, there is our other option, the warlock town right here. Let's go pick this up as soon as possible. Looks like we take no losses. There's no need to fight that battle. Let's see what we have in here. We've got centaurs, gargoyles, griffins, no other troops. We do have our mage guild. Corlagon as a knight doesn't start with any spells. Having a cure and a magic arrow, it's pretty nice. We already have griffins and gargoyles in our army. Let's pick those up now. And we will leave the centaurs. And I really think that we've just got to keep cruising as fast as we can. A group of gargoyles with a desire for greater glory wish to join me. Do I accept? I do. I think I had about 30, 35 gargoyles. Now I have 61. I think I just effectively doubled my gargoyles, which is pretty fantastic. There's another black pearl. We're not going to worry about that. And we are already on a week 2. Oh, look. Several black dragons. Several black dragons. Okay. We're going to get rid of skeletons. I think I've decided that I don't really care about skeletons. I really don't. I don't know which will be better. I think we'll take the ballistics. So far, we've just seen dirt and grass. Let's take the ballistics so that way the final town that we have to defeat the enemy, we can use ballistics on them. And let's use our Dragon Alliance for the first time in this game. Watch this. Make sure we have space in our army. The dragons, snarling and growling, agree to join forces with you, their ally. 6 black dragons. Oh, that's terrific. Yeah, I am loving this at any given time. That is fantastic. We don't need to fight this fight with no losses. I'm not even worried about it. Looks like here we do have centaurs again, gargoyles, griffins, minotaurs, and hydras. So the minotaurs and the hydras are new. For now, I don't think that they are better than more griffins or more gargoyles. But maybe I'll change my mind later. This is terrific. Look at this. This one comes with a level 3 mage guild. That's a mass haste, mass curse, steel skin, dragon slayer, cold ray. This is pretty terrific. The only wasted spell here is Dragon Slayer. I don't plan on fighting any bone dragons. Maybe I will, but every other dragon should be pretty willing to join me. Right now I don't really have a whole ton of spells to cast, so I'm going to stay out of the way for that. And there's another town up here, which is excellent. I was really just coming here for this. Shrine of the Third Circle for the View Heroes spell. Let me cast View Heroes right now. Looks like there's one hero right there, so I need to migrate towards the upper right of the map. And it looks like there's no other heroes. There's just one enemy hero. I imagine that he's in the enemy town that we need to defeat. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And that will help us kind of guide our way through this forest so we don't get too lost. Let's fight this fight against Olympus. 3 genies. I'm not going to lose that. Wow, that's a terrific amount of troops that are guarding this town. Look at that. Huh, that's a little concerning. I do have the mass haste, which will help all these troops, but it won't really help my black dragons. So I'm going to consider this fight. It'll go dragons, their gargoyles, my gargoyles, their minotaur kings, my genies, etc., etc., etc. I wish I had a blind. I wish I had a... maybe a paralyze would be nice. But otherwise, I'm thinking to myself, do I want to fly across the map? And I'm thinking no. I think that these power liches can probably deal with these centaurs very easily. I think I should be somewhat defensive. I don't want to take extra hits from these Minotaur Kings if I don't have to. Or these Hydras for that matter. But if I do attack these Minotaur Kings this way, then the Hydras won't be able to get through because of the terrain. Let's do that. I don't think that the AI will move the Minotaurs out of the way just to move the Hydras into an attacking position. That's my guess. Will that be a problem? I think that these flyers are probably going to come across the battlefield and try and disrupt these liches. So let's actually fly across the battlefield. Generally I don't do this, but I'm going to do it now. And now the question is a mass curse or a mass haste. 3 to 5, 2 to 3, 1 to 2, 5 to 10, and 6 to 12. I think I'm going to take the curse. Because haste may give me the first shot, but I will always take some retaliation. If I can reduce the damage from retaliation and from attacks, I think that might be my absolute best bet to preserve troops and have as many troops as possible for the final scenario. So let's do this now. I was correct in my assumption that the gargoyles would fly across the map. With that being said, I think I'm going to... I can't attack these Minotaur Kings with anybody else. I can kill... With 75 gargoyles, 75, these genies will do just fine in taking down those centaurs. Let's focus on these griffins. No problem there, no problem there. And I'm very glad that there's one Minotaur King left with 15 hit points, so these black dragons are not going to take some damage from the Hydras. Wow, 4 genies are so tough. They just killed 52 centaurs with 263 damage. That is incredible. Because the power liches have so much defense skill, I will attack these gargoyles because I don't think the 41 griffins can handle them by themselves. Yeah, the gargoyles only did 6 damage in return. And that's because with an attack skill of 4, my power liches are past the break point of 14 defense over attack. So the gargoyles are doing only 30% total damage to these power liches when they attack. So there's no complaints there. These griffins, however, might be a problem. Let's try and get these power liches unstuck, and we can figure out what to do with the Hydras later. Wow, these power liches are tough. They're so tough. There's no danger in flying the gargoyles closer, but I will wait on these Hydras. If I had a disrupting ray, that would be terrific. Unfortunately, I do not. I may consider, who's my tankiest unit? 17 defense skill, 24... I think it will be the black dragons that do take the retaliation from the Hydras. They will probably start off some round of combat, but let's let our power liches get a couple of shots off, just sort of soften up these Hydras. Oh, and the time is now. There's no better time than the present. Black dragons did a terrific amount of damage. They were going to kill anywhere between 4 to 8, and I think that they just killed 6. So that's terrific. And then this should end the fight here. And losing 1 gargoyle looks a lot better than losing 3 genies. Let's go with this wisdom over the estates. See what's in this town. Aha! So we do have a 5th level mage guild. Teleport is terrific, especially if I do want to pick up Hydras. It looks like there's more Hydras here. So Hydra's here and Hydra's here. Their growth is not horrific. It's 4 a week, but very serviceable. Maybe I end up taking for my final army Black Dragons and Hydras, just so that way I have my castles defended at all times from Roland's troops. I wouldn't take the Hydras on the road with me, but I would consider leaving them in the castles just as static defenders. I also have Minotaur Kings, so this other maze is not upgraded, but I can potentially purchase the Minotaurs here and then upgrade them into Minotaur Kings. And then I am going to take the Gargoyles and the Griffins right now. I haven't decided on whether or not I'm going to end up taking Minotaur Kings or Hydras, but for now I will take this army. I'll keep the shooters just in case. I do wish that I had more wisdom, but I will take Elemental Storm, Fire Blast, and I could take or leave the Summon Earth Elemental. That does not hurt my feelings too bad. So, with that being said, let's carry on. The Sawmill, we got a pack of Phoenixes here. This will be a tough battle. Let's fight this fight. Oof. You know what? The stacks of genies here are pretty low. It's probably not going to be that important to me to preserve this stack. I want to keep them as long as I can, but unfortunately it does not look like I'm going to get the choice on whether I preserve them or not. Ultimately, these genies are more or less going down this fight. We have some opportunities to do some massive damage to these Phoenixes. I am going to do the curse though now, because all these Phoenixes, if we can make them do 20 damage instead of 20 to 40, that would be terrific. Let's see, 34 there. Should I attack with these last 2 genies? I don't think I'm going to find any more genie lamps. So let's have them do 87 damage there, and then the Power Liches can actually attack without fear of retribution. Let's kill this smallest stack. And then it looks like I'm not going to accidentally Flame Breath myself. Oh, I did. Oh, dear. It wasn't highlighted. I thought that because the Hex Grid wasn't highlighted, I thought it was fine. Obviously was not. So we fought that battle much worse. But am I a better, smarter Heroes of Might and Magic 2 player because of my mistakes? I'd like to think so. That may be a serious cope. We cope, and that's how we get by. So I'm not going to worry about it. What's that? Looks like there's another town here to be had. Let's hop in there. No losses. And I do see water here, and I still haven't seen any other terrain, so I'm going to take the navigation. And let's hop in here. It looks like we have View Towns, Cold Ring, Disrupting Ray, Blind. So Blind and Disrupting Ray. Those are 2 excellent spells I'm very happy to have. And it looks like we can get more Gargoyles and get more Griffins, which, since I have the space in the army, I might as well take them now. Minotaur Kings are pretty fast. Should I buy them now or should I wait? I may come across some troops I would much rather prefer having, so I would hate to have to dismiss Minotaur Kings for, say, Red Dragons. So I will leave them now. I will leave them now. Oh, this castle is upgradable, and at this point we've accrued over 100 wood, over 100 ore, so it's not a hard thing at all to do that. Oh, but now we can recruit more heroes. So I'm cooking up an idea here where we'll step out of this town. We will start purchasing some heroes that can go back and maybe pick up some of these resources that we ignored before. Like these campfires, these ores. We'll go down here and see what's in here. Oh, there's an observation tower right there. Can Korlagon get there this turn? He can. So let's have Korlagon go to the observation tower and see what's around. Looks like Hydras and Unicorns. Looks like a town here and a town here. Anything else that's worthwhile? They each have a Shrine of the Third Circle. That could be useful. And so it looks like this is the route for the Warlocks, this is the route for the Barbarians, and this is the route for the Necromancers. Good to know. And start making some dragons. Identify Hero. Not a bad spell. We do lose our 1 Genie and 1 Gargoyle. I think that that's actually acceptable losses. I'm not going to fight that fight. I will accept that. And now, because I had army space, I do pick up the skeletons. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be getting a large army of, whoa, skeletons. Folks, this is an embarrassment of riches. This is the 3rd scenario in a row that in our Mage Guild, we get a Dimension Door. Granted, this is the 2nd, 5th level Mage Guild we've seen. I wonder if Dimension Door is guaranteed in this town. The mutant zombies just have no chance. Okay, and so 2 Gargoyles feels a lot better. because I'm right here, I don't see any use for pathfinding in this map. Because I'm right here, I'm just going to drop these skeletons off. Oh, there's another level 5 mage guild. Nothing in here that I'm really happy about. Mass cure isn't bad. If we take Corlagon into the next scenario, the final scenario, and he has all these spells, we are going to be in pretty good shape. This is interesting, though. More power liches? Vampire lords? Can I upgrade this town? This town may not be upgraded to this town. So, can this town be upgraded? It may not. I got to tell you, I kind of dislike that. So we started off and we picked the Warlock way, and there's, you know, the towns along the way we've picked up. And then at the very end, there's this Warlock town that we can upgrade to a castle. But along the way, I mean, it looks like there's probably not going to be a Necromancer town or a Barbarian town that we could upgrade. And so really, if you didn't go the Warlock way, you're kind of missing out. And that makes me a little bit sad. It's not bad game design per se. It's just more like your choice. There was always an optimal choice. I think if I'm smart about this, because I have 20 spell points left, if I go here, then I can Dimension Door here, Dimension Door there. And then if there's a Mage Guild in the Necromancer town, I should be good to go. And then just stay the night, replenish my spell points, and then strike out again in the morning. Glorious battle. Let's hope that there's a Mage Guild, and there is. Skeletons. Yeah, I probably could have walked away with a huge stack of skeletons this game. And I'm really regretting not making that decision. But this far in, we're at month 2, week 1, day 2. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I really don't. Okay, folks, we have fast forwarded into the last week. We are 7 days, pretty much. The end of week 4 is the final chance we have to be able to gather troops and move forward. We are now there. Let's do this last little bit here. I've decided, here's what my final army is going to be composed of, and I haven't gotten this completely hammered out, but I'm going to have black dragons, I'm going to have gargoyles, I'm going to have minotaurs, hydras, and then power liches. So I'm going to leave these vampires here. Unfortunately, just with the creature growth, I think that the vampires and the vampire lords are going to get left out, but I am going to want to pick up these power liches. So it's day 7. Let's wait for one more day. And now here we are. We have to get from here to there with our Dimension Door and pick up all the troops we need to in 7 days. Let's make this happen. So let's pick up these gargoyles. And then we need to go to this town so we can get gargoyles and minotaurs and hydras. But with Dimension Door, this should not be very difficult. Not difficult at all. What would have taken 3 turns has just taken few, very few. Because there's a magic well right there. This short little distance, even that I'm going to walk up to. We're going to end up with well over 200 gargoyles, maybe 250 gargoyles. It's going to be exciting. Very exciting. We are going to leave a lot of griffins, but you can't have everything. Let's Dimension Door over to this magic well and pick up just all these troops I can. That is one interesting thing that I've seen. I think that was actually for the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 Gold, where occasionally after a Dimension Door, my little viewing window on my minimap will just go to a random area. That's always a little bit annoying. I'm not meaning to do that. That's just kind of happening. But I don't think that it's not so annoying that it needs a fix. And I don't even know really how I would describe that as a bug. So, more gargoyles. More hydras. 50 hydras already. Wow. We are going to start upgrading these minotaurs. And make sure I don't leave anybody. Here, here, and here. Good, good, good. And then we are going to have to get to this town. But we've gotten here, here, here. Were there any more? 1, 2, 3. I guess that there's this original town, but there's no creatures to be had in there. Otherwise, we visited the other 3 towns, and we will visit our castle before the end of this. Now we just need to go pick up our power liches. I think we have power liches in 2 towns. Not this very first one. This very first one has no power liches, but then there's this one and this one that we need to get to. And we got to go to this one first because we got to pick up liches and then upgrade them into power liches. Oh no, will we make it? I think we'll make it. I don't think we have to worry. If I run out of spell points, that will be the problem. Let's just see if there's any magic wells along the way. There's this one. So we just need to head in that direction and we'll be just fine. We have 4 dimension doors left. This won't be a problem. We're covering so much ground. So much ground. Let's walk on this. And let's continue on our journey. I ultimately decided on this composition, not just because there's more Warlock towns generating more creatures, but because I thought to myself, some other considerations I had were ogres. Would a huge stack of ogres or ogre lords be great? Yes, it absolutely would, especially because I think that in the future scenarios, I still might be able to find... Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I didn't think this through. Because I thought ogre lords because I might be able to find more later. And I really think I might be able to do that. But for now, I won't worry about it so much. Mostly because I'd only be able to take like 50, 60. It's just a numbers game. It just makes so much more sense to have the higher quality troops and troops of the same general alignment. That was my thought process there anyway. But the power liches... I think I'm going to get enough power liches that it's going to make more sense to take them than, say, the griffins. I really do. It costs a ton to upgrade those liches into power liches. And now we are going to go back and we're going to pick up these 18. But before we go, let me just make sure that I actually purchased. I did not. But yeah, we're going to end up with over 60 power liches. I think that's also going to be worth it. We have 4 dimension doors left. Let's not lose track. That'll be enough to get to here. We are running a little low on time, guys. I'm a little scared that was not the plan to get so close. But I think I will have enough time. Let's pick up the magic well since we are right here and we need the spell points. Here. And then that should be it for this town. There's no need to wait overnight. Let's head back over this way. And at the beginning of the next turn, I should be able to get to that magic well. I don't have any more movement points. Oh boy, I'm cutting it close. Day 5. I think I have until day 7 or the end of day 7. It's going to be closer than I like. Or maybe we're just very good at being strategic. Now this is a concern. I don't think that there's a magic well. I don't think that there's a magic well over here anywhere. That's a little concerning. Perhaps I'll make it to my town and be able to spend the night on this turn. That would be a good use of my time since I'm almost out of movement points anyway. Let's see how close we get. Can we just walk it in? We can. So that'll bring us to day 6. We're going to dismiss these centaurs because there's no point. And so then we will purchase Hydras, Minotaur Kings, Gargoyles, and Black Dragons next turn. And then end this scenario right then and there. So let's see what we got in our final town. We currently have 6 Black Dragons, 229 Gargoyles, 64 Minotaur Kings, 52 Hydras, and the 64 Power Liches. We're going to add 13 Black Dragons, a total of 19 Black Dragons. 29 additional Minotaur Kings for 88. Oh my goodness, and I'm officially out of gold. Thankfully, I had the foresight to bring Man Bear Pig over here to this trading post, and he is going to trade for all the resources. I don't even care. I don't need any left. There's no other purchases to be had. And if this is not enough to purchase some Hydras, then I don't know what is. Let's purchase the last of those Minotaur Kings. We'll get these 30-some Gargoyles, and then 18 more Hydras. And that's our final army, folks. We did leave a lot of Griffins on the table from town to town, but for now, this is a well-worth-it army. And now we just need to end this fight. We even have pretty much full magic points. We could do Identify Hero. It'll be 46 Minotaurs, 12 Green Dragons, 113 Gargoyles, 74 Griffins, 48... Wow, 48 Hydras. And Sabu is level 8, and he has 8 attack, 3 defense. No spell points to speak of, and that's all that I need to see. Let's save as many of these troops as possible. We're not going to accept these losses at all. We can do much better. And because it's a town and not a castle, we don't even have a moat or turrets to deal with. Let's think about this last fight. Our dragons will go. His gargoyles. My gargoyles. Minotaur kings, minotaurs. After my power liches. Dragons are going to go pretty late in this fight. This is a huge stack of hydras, and it's a little concerning. I don't want to lose many power liches if I can help it, but I don't want to lose gargoyles either. I do wish I had like a mass slow. That would be pretty nice here. I do have some good 5th level spells though. Mirror image. I could see myself mirror imaging, say, 200 gargoyles. I could see that. Or even the 64 power liches. I could see that. Blinds. Blinds can be absolutely devastating. If I blind these gargoyles, the rest of their troops are so slow. Eventually, their griffins and their dragons are going to come across and try and torch me for some damage. But if I can blind their gargoyles, I think that just eliminating them for now is a good use of my time. Should I work on 3 to 6 green dragons, or should I work on 24 to 46 minotaurs? Oh boy. 11 defense, 15 defense. My dragons should work on the group with the bigger stack of dragons. Let's do that. We're going to probably take some losses in black dragons, but for now, let's do what we can. This is a high value target. We ended up killing 4 of those green dragons, and they helped us by killing some of their minotaurs, some of their own minotaurs. Now, I can kill 13 to 20, or I can kill 1 to 2. Let's just kill a whole stack of these minotaurs. And then it doesn't really matter to move into a defensive position strictly because these griffins are going to be able to get across the battlefield anyway. And we will let our hydras really do the damage there. 26. Let's save as many of these power liches because I anticipate the griffins will fly across. Let's save some power liches. Oof, the blind was pretty terrific. But as far as all the shooters you could get, power liches are the best because look at their defense skill, 26. With a defense skill of 26, you are not in a rough position at all. Let's see if we can take out this entire stack of green dragons. Maybe we'll get lucky. We did not, but that's okay. We did tremendous amounts of damage. The griffins will work on later. Notice that my hydras are now unblinded. Sabu does not have any spell power. He does not have any knowledge. That pretty much bankrupted him. We're probably going to pull the Minotaur Kings back because I don't need to take damage from the Hydras until I need to take damage from the Hydras. Let's actually blind the Hydras so we can deal with these stacks individually. Let's finish off these green dragons. And 28 to 41. We might kill this whole stack of Griffins. We do not. And now let's move our troops into position. We might be able to kill all these gargoyles here now. Let's do that. And then let's move our troops into position so where we can attack the Hydras when we are ready. Probably there. Doesn't really matter where they go. It doesn't really matter where they go. And then Minotaurs within striking distance, but not necessarily right in the way until they have to be. And then let's just start this barrage using all of our spell points. We've got Lightning Bolt for 300 damage. And plus my power liches. Let's just shoot these guys down and go from there. So skip, skip, skip. Lightning Bolt. And damage from the power liches. Oh no, 10 damage from a magic arrow. How horrifying. Skip, skip, skip. And at this point, it's completely unfair. The battle is won. We are just... we're just doing our due diligence and trying to minimize losses, but the computer just won't quit. And I salute them for that. I really do. There goes 7 more Hydras, and then these Black Dragons should finish this fight off. Folks, we're going to end up with a terrific army and all this experience. I don't think Corlagon's going to come with us, but if he did, he would be one powerhouse of a hero. So, yellow player has been vanquished. We completed our goal, and that is that scenario in a nutshell. We captured Chandler. We are victorious. I'm going to skip through the intro there, but I do want to mouse over this award. Carryover forces. Again, 19 Black Dragons, 255 Gargoyles, 91 Minotaur Kings, 69 Hydras, 58 Power Liches. I am happy with the way that that campaign went. Folks, again, if you have any kind of feedback for me, if you like this shorter, more edited version of a Heroes of Might and Magic 2 playthrough, let me know. I don't know if the long playthroughs, some people like the long playthroughs, and some people prefer kind of more short, punchy, choppy kind of views. I can do either. And especially when I get out of the Archibald campaigns, I probably will go to more of that short, edited, abbreviated type of playthroughs, especially on, say, if I end up doing scenarios at some point, custom games and the like. But either way, I'd like to hear from you about what you think is best, what you would like to see personally. Ultimately, I'm going to make the final decision. I'm going to do what I like the best and what I think is the best. But I do appreciate the feedback. It helps me hone my craft. Next time we are going to choose either the Taxling, the Hideous Mask, or the Fizzbin for Scenario 11 Apocalypse. But for now, we're going to have to wait until another time. My name is FixFox. I appreciate you being with me, and I will see you next time. FixFox out.